Hello, folks. Welcome to the TOCA Thursday night live stream. We are playing. What's the name of the game we're playing tonight, Micah?
It is technically called Geek Out, but we are playing it with modified rules.
All right, good to know. We will go over those when we start the game. First, Cecilia, I believe you had a very quick update on IATSE.
Just that the IATSE ratification vote is happening beginning tomorrow and ending on Monday. So it's likely we will know by the end of next week what the results of that are going to be. And we'll keep you updated, but there really isn't anything else. Also, just letting everyone know, hello, TikTok audience. I'm live on Twitch, and you're going to see everyone over there. So it's very unlikely that I'm going to address you for the rest of the night. I'm so sorry. But I've got the information up there. Please head on over.
Yeah. And we have a guest tonight, Bobby, the afternoon special on TikTok. Your friend who knows a little bit too much about pop culture is with us. She was recently banned for a few days from TikTok for no apparent reason. This is the TikTok that she posted right before that.
In the midst of a Bratz renaissance? I think we are. Hi, I'm Bobby, and I'm your friend who knows just a little bit too much about pop culture. Released in 2001, Bratz was truly the epitome of the cool girl in school when it came to toys. They were the girls with a passion for fashion, and they always felt current. This is no knock to Barbie, but Chloe, Yasmin, Jade, and Sasha felt like the girl that I wanted to be, and that was by design because Bratz were meant to be on the cutting edge of pop culture. But they oftentimes found themselves being trendsetters in their own right. And on a deeper note, this felt like a doll line that had diversity top of mind, rather than racial variations of the white doll. It felt good that I could go into a store when I was younger and find a doll that was my complexion, and she was her own person/doll. And Bratz never intended to pat themselves on the back for having racially diverse dolls either. They just represented them in the same way as white dolls were represented, as the default. Just like film and TV, the toys that we played with as kids had a lasting impact on us. And for kids of color like me, Bratz served as necessary and cool representation.
Hey, Bobby, how's it going?
It's going good. Hi, everyone.
I very much love that you are wearing the same hat.
Same hat, different hair.
Love the continuity. It's wonderful.
Oh, gosh. I just noticed. I was like, oh, yeah, my hair was black, and now it's not that anymore.
So, hello. You're fresh off a ban.
Fresh off a ban, and boy howdy, was that was that something. My goodness.
You were one of the people that sent me a message, I don't know how long ago now, that you had like checked in the middle of the night and your account was for some reason banned, and then you logged in the morning and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah. That was something because my mom, who is like my de facto TikTok manager, she texted me and she was like, what happened to your account? And I was like, what do you mean what happened to my account? It should be there. And there it was not. I just checked and it was like, you've been permanently banned due to too many community guidelines violations, which at that point I had 0. And then it came back in the morning, like nothing happened.
Cool, great. Love it, TikTok. It's great. That was the same time that we noticed that there was like that data loss of, for some reason, like I had no followers for one whole day, and then suddenly I jumped back up to having followers again. And we just like, there was just some weird back-end TikTok nonsense or server migration nonsense or whatever, but it like caused mass panic amongst so many people because other people also did that thing of they logged in the middle of the night to like find their account was gone and then check the next day. It's like, oh, it's perfectly fine. We're fine here.
Yeah, everything's wonderful.
Everything's wonderful.
TikTok are very good at their jobs.
They're so good at it. They're so good at it that we have to band a bunch of people together to try to make them like actually build a website. It's fine.
Just like one time, one department speak to another department once.
They've never met each other. They don't know who they are. They're on a different floor, and there's no elevator. There's only a staircase.
Well, no, it's not that they don't try to communicate. It's that they communicate solely by pigeon, but these pigeons have never been trained.
This makes a lot more sense now. Thank you for the theory.
TikTok is a multinational company. Maybe they've organized their departments by language that the people speak.
Are you insinuating that if you speak English on TikTok, you're only one department? It's like just the marketing department only speaks English.
It's feeling increasingly Tower of Babel-esque.
Moderation is strictly Russian.
So no one's talking to anyone, pretty much.
No, that's the theme of TikTok. That's really the theme.
The French Canadians specifically, not the regular French, just the French Canadians.
As a French Canadian, I am offended.
The game we're playing tonight?
Sure. So in the past, we have played Morbid Curiosity, where we kind of talk about death, but in a fun way. This is similar to that in that it's questions about pop culture. There are no technical right answers. It's kind of more whatever you can call up works. So you'll get questions like, can you name a fictional comic book school or university? And you can just kind of come up with as many as you can get through. Or you can, it's meant to kind of spin off into conversations about those things. So it doesn't have to stay super on topic. There are no points because apparently I grew up watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that just stuck with me.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, so I guess we can start off. Oh, can you name songs, specifically songs about things being on fire?
Does it have to have fire in the title?
We didn't start the fire.
Listen. I asked a question, goddammit.
It doesn't have to be in the title, but the song does have to be about something being on fire.
Yeah, I mean, literally speaking, We Didn't Start the Fire is not about anything being on fire.
So technically TX loses. There are no losers, but TX is lost.
But we can talk about a metaphorical fire because technically We Didn't Start the Fire is about a metaphorical fire and that the world is on fire.
Well, that's like technically this isn't Alicia Keys's This Girl Is on Fire. It's not about a literal fire.
She's like, not. That was my answer, honestly. This Girl Is on Fire by Alicia Keys. No. So if that doesn't work, I got nothing.
What's that Christina Aguilera song off the Dirty album where it's like the
Fighter?
No. It might actually just be Dirty.
I like that my brain also went to Fighter and then I said that's not the word fire.
No, I think it's one of, like they talk about the roof being on fire.
Oh yeah.
That's dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dirty. But the roof is not in fact on fire. Again, none of this is real fire. I'm like being oddly like specific about this.
Okay, what? I do have a real fire one, but it's literally 2 words in the entire song. Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Mm-hmm.
In the first stanza, where secrets lie in the border, fires in the humming wires, hey man, you know you're never coming back. So like, not much, but it is just referring to fires on the border of a city.
Does Usher's Burn count?
I sure hope it does.
Okay. My brain immediately went to the Once More with Feeling episode of Buffy. Because there is a song about fire.
There is.
Because it's the one with the fire trucks in the background.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
We can move on.
I think this is about Red Right Hand. I just want to be clear, like the full context of that passage is take a little walk to the edge of town and go across the tracks where the viaduct looms like a bird of doom as it shifts and cracks, where secrets lie in the border, fires in the humming wires, hey man, you know you're never coming back. And the rest of the song continues to be mostly just describing walking around this city. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a literal fire.
Yeah.
I think that's the only literal fire we found.
Moving on to something a little less fire specific.
Dave wins.
Can you name franchises that feature a mad scientist?
Back to the Future.
Oh, that was good. Oh my.
I knew everyone else would say.
It's on my wall.
Okay, so we were pedants about the last one. To what extent in this one are we distinguishing between mad scientist and mad engineer?
Well, engineering is a type of science, so
I mean,
engineering is I swear,
Back to the Future definitely still counts because Doc Brown does experimentation and like attempted falsification. Granted, he would have died, and so would Marty if they had falsified his hypothesis. But
the fact that you're applying the scientific method to this is
typical.
Great.
I feel like Jurassic Park had to have like there wasn't
definitely
like named mad scientist, but like that's a conglomerate of mad scientists. I think
100% yes.
They weren't all right in the head. So
I mean,
like I keep going to like the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
I would technically consider the Brain a mad scientist.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dr. Scratch and Sniff.
No, he's a therapist.
Oh,
Micah, could you repeat the phrasing of the sentence, the question exactly?
Franchises that feature a mad scientist.
Okay. Is Stanford the college of franchise?
No.
So they did feature Philip Zimbardo.
For the sake of this question, I'm going to let it count because I would fight Philip Zimbardo in the street because he was like, oh yeah, the Stanford prison experiment is very valid and good and should keep getting taught in everyone's Psych 101 class. And they would walk away with bad perceptions.
He's also the scientist responsible for the study that is the only study ever cited in defense of broken windows policing.
I know. Which is why I would fight that man in the street, and we are allowed to count him as a mad scientist. If we can count Stanford. I feel like if Stanford has like more than one campus, it's like fine, it's a franchise. In the strictest sense of the word, potentially. I was gonna say, does Young Frankenstein count?
I don't think that
Frankensteins count.
But Young Frankenstein isn't a franchise. I think if you wanted to like...
Yeah, I guess that's a point.
We're counting Stanford, therefore.
That's just a movie. It's not a full franchise. That being said, my brain immediately was like, can we count Beekman's World? Was Beekman technically a mad scientist, even though he was teaching children?
I mean, it wasn't a franchise. It was just the one piece of media. I mean, it was like a serial piece of media, but there were not multiple titles.
Which is why I think the Pinky and the Brain works, because the Animaniacs and the Pinky and the Brain, two separate things, but connected.
True. Oh, the Muppets, technically.
Oh.
Bunsen Burner and Beaker.
Yeah.
Yes. Beaker.
In honor of me watching Muppets in Space last night.
Gonzo. I love Gonzo.
Beaker. Listen, I would die for Beaker. All right. He's just so stressed out. I want him to be happy. I love Beaker so much.
Beaker is top. He's top 3 of Muppets I'd have sex with. I'm just ready to say that.
Okay, never mind.
Not my favorite stream. I don't feel weird anymore.
I want to establish my credibility now and say Beaker, top 3 Muppets.
Can we get a countdown?
Oh my gosh. Oh god.
Perfect. Let's see. How do we feel about comic book characters?
Fine.
Comic book characters with eye patches.
Other than Nick Fury?
Nick Fury, Cable.
Yeah, but that's all I can think
of. Daredevil.
That motherfucker does not have an eye patch.
Blind, it's not the same thing.
His mask does cover both of his eyes.
That's a mask.
That's not an eye patch.
What is an eye patch if not a piece of facial clothing that goes over the eye?
But it is of the pirate.
No. No. I feel like an eye patch has to be on one eye. I am Googling the word eye patch thinking this is going to help anything.
It's not eyes patch, it's just eye patch. So it goes over what? It's the singular.
Because, I mean, you have two eye patches, but it is two separate pieces of cloth.
True.
I'm reading the Wikipedia article on eye patches. Okay, listen. Nowhere does it seem to mention that it has to be on one eye. But I stand by my statement that a mask covering both eyes is not an eye patch.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah, okay. I concede the point because blindfold is a concept that exists specifically.
Correct.
Is it Deadshot that has the eye patch? No, Slade. Slade Wilson has an eye patch.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not my area of expertise. I do not know.
I know that it's not the main character design, but I have absolutely no doubt that at some point Deadpool has had an eye patch.
That feels unnecessary.
Right, but he is specifically a parody of Slade.
That feels like you saw like Pirate Deadpool walking around a convention one time and your brain logged that as like, that possibly happened.
No, I have no memory of a Deadpool with an eye patch.
You don't have to have a memory with a Deadpool with an eye patch. You've probably seen one because any convention has 50 Deadpools running around in different costumes on top of their costumes.
I just
go to one convention and it doesn't have cosplay.
I just think that an eye patch for Deadpool specifically feels incredibly redundant because the rate of regeneration that character has.
It's for fun.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's for fun.
Yeah, the fact that it is blatantly redundant and can take and that you could spend comic pages with
it feels like the vibe
to the into the narration that the eye patch is just for the look. That's a plus in Deadpool writing.
True. I will say I do like that Deadpool was essentially just a remodel of Slade, and then DC decided to remodel Deadpool for the Harley Quinn series with Red Tool. I just appreciate that.
Simulacra and simulation.
Mm-hmm. How about actresses that have played cheerleaders?
Oh, I got this. Kirsten Dunst. Gabrielle.
Number one, Kirsten Dunst.
Very true.
Number two, Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know the names of any of the actors in, but I'm a cheerleader.
Eliza Dushku.
Yeah. And that's all I got.
Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah, that's
But I'm a cheerleader.
But I'm a cheerleader.
Solange.
Yeah.
Wait,
in what?
Yeah.
Oh, I know the entire Bring It On cinematic universe like the back of my hand. She's in the third one, Bring It On, All or Nothing.
Oh my god. I mean, if we're including TV shows as well.
Yeah, probably. Why not?
This is bouncing back to the eye patch thing, but Karina, I just want to say, yes, we were wrong. You are right. Somebody could have said Odin. That was an oversight on our part.
Oh,
yeah. Pretty big one. Charisma Carpenter in Buffy is that's episode 2.
Wasn't Buffy also a cheerleader in the movie?
In the movie, yes.
Yeah.
So, Kristen Johnson.
Hayden Panettiere. She played it in a Bring It On movie and in Heroes.
This is true.
Okay, so I guess I need to explore the Bring It On cinematic universe because I do love Bring It On desperately.
Yes.
But I have not watched the rest of the Bring It Ons, in part because it's just like, how long can we keep this bit up for?
Oh, they keep it up for a long time. 7 movies. 7 movies.
Fucking great. Okay.
And you know what? I come back every single time. They just reel me back in with their competition, some struggles, some love. Oh,
Speaking of movies they keep making, are there any cheerleaders in God's Not Dead?
I don't know that.
Probably.
I just assume.
I don't know. My whole exposure to the God's Not Dead franchise is Big Joel's videos about it.
I don't even know that franchise.
It's very Christian films making the argument for the existence of an anti-religious conspiracy and the heroes that fight back against college professors and the ACLU.
Oh, this absolutely sounds like a reason that I don't know what this is.
The ACLU? I thought it was just... I didn't know it was...
No, the second movie is about the triumph of a Christian law firm over the ACLU in the Supreme Court.
Wow.
Incredible.
Was this made specifically for like VeggieTales kids when they grew up to be adults?
Yeah, it's for extremely Christian adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm too Jewish for that. I can't.
It's like VeggieTales kids who didn't like. I like VeggieTales for the camp value and camp value alone. Those who took it too seriously, that's who God's Not Dead. God's
I like
Not
the children pirates who don't do anything, and for the "Where Is My Hairbrush" song, I don't care about anything else.
I remember hearing a piece of trivia recently that the reason that the creator of VeggieTales has explicitly said that it's not blasphemy because it's not depictions of the actual humans and vegetables don't have souls.
Did someone say it was blasphemy? They showed it in my Christian preschool.
Who's saying VeggieTales is blasphemy?
I think that guy who made it thought it through, and that's why he made those decisions.
You know, I'd like to say that surprises me, but it fully does not.
It absolutely tracks. Hang on. Blythe has brought up also if TV counts the characters from Glee.
Oh, Santana.
Yeah.
My idol. My angel.
Santana was the only reason I watched that show for as long as I did.
Yeah,
I do.
There was a certain point where it was like, I'm only here for one person.
Yeah, and it was Naya. I was just like, listen, I too am a bitch with a mouth that doesn't quit. So like, yes.
I don't want to leave it unremarked that my source for that VeggieTales thing was I remember hearing once.
I saw it on Facebook.
To establish that like don't walk away with confidence about that claim.
Perfect.
I remember hearing one time this thing about VeggieTales being blasphemous.
Okay. Franchises in which characters shapeshift into animals, animorphs. I'm getting that off.
This isn't a competition, and there are no points. You didn't have to rush to get Animorphs out there that fast because we all love Animorphs, okay?
I just wanted to get it off the table so that the rest of us don't fight.
What if the rest of us don't know any others?
That's
TOCA member Am I a Fairy Princess Yet has an Animorphs podcast that takes place diegetically in the world of Animorphs 100 years after the events of the books. It's called Morph Report. I've been on it twice.
Wow. I love that.
I love it so much.
How can you say you can't think of anything else? Harry Potter, you have people who turn into animals.
Okay, you know what? Listen, my brain turned off. You said that and said Animorphs, and I was like, that's the only thing I've ever seen or heard of is
I
Animorphs.
hit the panic switch.
Like I did say Teen Titans while everybody else was debating the legitimacy of saying Animorphs that quickly.
That's true, Beast Boy.
That was my second one, yeah.
What about does anyone remember the Justice League Wonder Twins?
Yes.
Because one of them was always the form of an animal.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can reasonably just say like Marvel.
Marvel is a franchise.
The whole thing. We can just say both Marvel and DC and be like, there's things in there.
Yeah, I mean, those are the things that are the franchise.
If you're looking hard enough, you'll find it.
Dig and you'll see. Trying to use my wall to cheat, but I can't.
Oh, Pixar movies. Brave.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
because they turn into my favorite.
bears.
I freaking love bears.
Small bear.
Animated Scotsman.
What's that?
Animated Scotsman.
Yeah.
Also that. Those are my two favorites.
Favorite.
There's an animated Scotsman. Brave's got it all. Oh no. Oh, The Swan Princess. That's a franchise. It's got multiple movies.
Including Barbie Swan Princess. The best of them all.
It's true.
Also, Disney's got a bunch.
I mean, yes.
The Princess and the Frog, Brother
Yeah.
Bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Emperor's New
All the
Groove.
minority movies where we get
Yeah.
to talk to animals.
And it's got a. They can't have too much screen time, you know.
Now,
Mm-mm.
What happened?
does that make The Little Mermaid the reverse of that? Because they go from fish to people.
Are mermaids animals? Are we counting mermaids as animals?
Yeah, she was always
Did you repeat the
halvesies.
question? Micah,
What?
Did you repeat the question?
I said, are humans animals?
No, the question on the card.
Oh, it was. I don't remember. I lost the card.
Franchises where
Franchises with characters that shapeshift into animals.
Okay, yeah, I think like
the
we
Little
could
Mermaid.
count humans as a type of animal, but like the Little
No,
Mermaid
we-
doesn't have shapeshifting into mermaids, so it doesn't matter whether mermaids are animals.
It's fair.
Fair. Fair. Wait. No, wait. Does the Little Mermaid 2 have it? I've seen it one whole time in my life because it's not good.
No, it's bad. It's very
Well,
bad.
she goes from person to mermaid in that one.
Yeah.
See? Therefore, it counts.
Maybe.
you.
True Blood has a character that can just be animals.
You know, it
Oh,
does.
Twilight.
Oh, fucking Twilight.
Of course.
Yeah, I wasn't counting werewolves because I figure that they're their own thing.
Literally, their whole deal is that they turn into an animal.
I mean, like, you're not wrong, but also
Leave us
Also,
alone.
Dracula turns into bats,
that's true.
Yeah.
and also I think a wolf.
Yeah. He turns into a wolf.
I don't know. That was one of the books that I read when I was sitting in the corner in Borders and didn't feel like purchasing anything 17 million years.
Have you not watched like the cinematic classic Bram Stoker's Dracula with Winona Ryder in it?
Not in a very long time.
Yeah, there is the like wolf transformation somewhere in there.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm that snobby person who, if I'm going to watch a Dracula movie, it's almost always Nosferatu.
I mean, that's fair. I would like to have a moment and say, does someone turn into a lizard in Star Trek? Since I don't put it past Star Trek to have had that happen. There's so many episodes of
Yeah,
all
there's a
of
lot
it.
of Star Trek.
There's so much Star Trek. I haven't even seen all of Star Trek, and I love Star Trek.
Like there are some properties where you
An
can.
episode of Star Trek?
There are some properties where you can just say that the thing happened, and you're probably right. Like The
Mhm.
Simpsons probably is a correct answer to this.
Yeah.
Next
Buffy is an answer to this because Amy turns herself into a rat and then 7 seasons later gets turned back into a person.
Jesus Christ. The most fucked up part of Buffy. Max, what happened, bud? You okay?
My favorite running joke in that whole show.
What? See, here's the thing. I have seen Next Gen is one of Nick's comfort shows. It must be playing while we go to sleep. So I've seen every episode of Next Gen several times at this point, and I don't remember this. So I don't know what point in what season it is, but it's like apparently where I drift off before I wake back up to discover it's like the same episode about like Deanna Troi getting sexually harassed, which is like 90% of her plot lines anyway.
Yep.
Troy turns it. Oh wait, I know this one. Troy does turn into a lizard, and they're like, there are multiple people going through terrible things, and like Troy is in the bathtub of her like suite of rooms, and it's actually kind of horrifying. They've got her in some really good practical makeup, and she's very slimy.
Oh.
I remember this now.
We are halfway through the stream, and I just want to take a moment and say, if you'd like to join us on Discord, the link is in chat now. You can join if you're over 18 as an accomplice, and if you're a creator with at least 1,000 followers, you can request to join as a comrade, which gives you access to our creators-only spaces. You can also support us on Patreon if you want to help us continue to grow and afford to do things.
Excellent.
It helps us create tools for creators as well as do the research and all of those other wonderful things so that we can continue to give you guys information that can help you in your creator journey.
Thank you. I have a script in front of me, but I had to look away from it to type !support.
This is actually a really big secret about Watson. They never learned how to read. This has just all been fake this whole time. I'm making shit up.
Just memorized a lot of words.
That's literally what I was about to say. Just memorize a lot of words.
Really good at parroting back. Actually just has an earpiece. Great.
It really is one of the best lines of New Girl ever. It's like, I'm not convinced I know how to read. I just memorized a lot of words.
Honestly, like, New Girl is so fucking, like, everything Nick Miller says is just so good.
Does that line where he like absolutely fucks something up and then immediately follows it up with, do you ever know that you're gonna get dementia like really bad?
My favorite one, there's a clip that every once in a while I just go and like find it on YouTube, where Nick and Schmidt discover that they've been using the same towel, and it's just
no, I don't wash the towel.
The towel washes
me. Towel washes me.
You gotta think, man. No, this is your towel. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. I've never used that towel. I do use this towel every day of my life.
Oh no.
Oh goodness.
Next up we have pieces of media that feature humans and dinosaurs living alongside each other or at the same time.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
I was gonna get it out.
We're Back.
What?
Which is
We're
Back is one of my favorite children's movies. It is an animated movie about dinosaurs that get brought to New York City by a brilliant librarian to tell people about the Jurassic period. They eat a really cool cereal that makes them very smart so that they can talk. There's 2 runaways that find them that they like journey around with. There's an evil circus. It's so good. John Goodman is in it.
The early 90s. What a time for animation.
What a
Are
time.
we counting chickens?
No, we're not counting chickens. We can't count birds just because they're little feathered dinosaurs that we keep around.
I mean, we could, because then Chicken Run. That's an option.
I mean, I think the Flintstones, I feel like, is the big one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I really forgot about the Flintstones for a second.
I mean, no need to worry.
Jetsons, because they've canonically met.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Jetsons?
Yeah, the Jetsons and the Flintstones have met each other.
Yeah, there's a movie with them together.
The same universe.
It therefore follows that the Jetsons exist in a universe where humans live simultaneously to dinosaurs.
Thank you.
Well, this also begs the question, does that make every Hanna-Barbera cartoon part of multiverse? In which case, is Hanna-Barbera the original multiverse?
Have there been exhaustive crossovers? And also, no, I think the Bible is the original multiverse.
Okay, listen.
Well.
Okay, listen, Faith. Technically, you may be correct. Yeah, there have been many crossovers within the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe.
Well, because they even have there's a whole show called Wacky Racers that's just all of the like a bunch of Hanna-Barbera
each other in cars.
each other.
They were like, these characters cost 2 cents to make. Let's just put them on these animation cells and have them have a good time. Our budget is $6 this week. So
we're going to use the same cells over and over again for the actual racing bit, and we'll just piece together
just move the background.
It'll be fine. No one needs to know.
Listen, if we're creative, we can use chunks of the dialogue from both of these episodes to make one combined episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
So if we are combining the whole Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe, I would like to loop Supernatural into there because there was a Scooby-Doo Supernatural crossover.
I hate you so much. I knew you were.
So I just wanted to bring up my least favorite show.
I mean,
by the way, we're coming up on the anniversary of me getting queer baited into oblivion exactly 1 year ago. So I'm very excited to have a meltdown about that because I've already had a meltdown about it was 1 year ago that we found out Destiel was canon, but we didn't know who the president was.
That's true.
The fact that I found out that Biden was elected and also Putin might be stepping down through a Supernatural meme.
Yeah.
That's really the highlight of my life.
You did?
Yep. Yep. That's the kind of hellscape that I live in, Bobby.
The Supernatural finale was the most important thing going on in November of 2020.
It certainly wasn't me standing in the Walgreens finding out that Biden was elected and crying because all of a sudden I could breathe.
No,
I'm pretty sure I heard about it when Cecilia told me about learning it from a meme.
Yeah, I ruined that for you. I took it upon myself to ruin it for as many people as I could.
Oh my God. I found out he was elected crossing state lines into Florida, which was deep in Trump country. So imagine 4 Black women in a car finding out that Biden got elected in Trump country.
No,
on our way to Disney World, nonetheless.
That has to be like a style of Gothic horror.
It was. Right? It sure felt like it. Yeah,
that feels like a Southern Gothic horror to me.
I will write it. I will write it.
Write it. I would love to see it.
And it was my birthday too, so just add that on.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't like this one. It's stupid.
Thank you.
I'm curating these. If they're dumb, I'm not doing them.
Wait, someone brought up Dinosaur the Show. Were people on Dinosaur the Show? The show?
No.
Dinosaur?
No, that was...
Yeah, they were just like Uncanny Valley somewhere between human and dinosaur.
Correct.
Hold up.
No.
There were no humans in the show to my knowledge. There were Danishes, which implies the Danes.
Does it actually? No, I'm not
No.
gonna go look up the history of this fucking pastry just to figure out if you're right or wrong. I'm gonna let that one slide.
We're gonna suspend our disbelief.
I'm gonna suspend my disbelief.
Oh no. This one's asking about fictional governmental investigations of the paranormal.
You want to talk about the X-Files for a while?
Can you actually read the question, because I couldn't parse that?
It's literally just name fictional governmental investigations of the paranormal.
Okay.
So as we already said,
it's Men in Black and X-Files, and that's what we have. Although, do we consider aliens to be the paranormal? Technically, the Men in Black are considered a paranormal phenomena. Right. Therefore, it's kind of a movie about the paranormal phenomenon.
I mean, you want to talk about Mothman?
It's a movie about the paranormal phenomenon, but it is about an investigation into the paranormal phenomenon.
You want to talk about Mothman?
No, because Mothman Prophecies is not about the government. It's just about John Keel.
True.
John Keel doesn't work for the government. He is very famously
I mean, the question here is occasions in which, in the fiction, the government is responsible for funding the investigation that's happening, and the subject of the investigation is the paranormal.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, does Ghostbusters count? Because the mayor does end up the mayor does ask them to perform this task.
They are pretty aggressively non-governmental.
They get hired by the government.
Getting hired by the government isn't the same thing as a fictional
contractor. They are a government contractor, and as a government contractor,
government contractor. I don't know what to do with that information.
All right. Well, Supernatural, obviously.
No.
Because Castiel works for the government of reality.
Don't.
He investigates.
No, because he has been cast out of heaven, and he is often working against the wishes of heaven.
That was not the case. That is not the case in every episode of the series.
Don't bring the cast.
But also, that's not the idea that the angels are a government, I think, is categorically untrue and false.
No, that's that in Supernatural. That feels very true. It's very bureaucratic.
I mean,
hell explicitly has elections.
Democracy necessitate government.
Mm.
You don't have
Hell
to
have a king.
Bureaucracy.
Hell has a king, and there are elections.
Mm-hmm. And they definitely investigate
Although
Supernatural.
by this definition, I think we could also potentially loop Good Omens into it.
Good Omens feels more government-y than
it's
Supernatural.
Very government-y.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very much a government bureau.
Yes.
Somewhere up in heaven.
However,
and also hell, because sometimes they have to have conversations.
Can it rightly be said that anything Aziraphale or Crowley do is investigation?
I wouldn't say that either of them are the investigators. I would say that
they're often being investigated.
The other actors of heaven and hell are the people that
so any scenario where we are talking about a metaphysical governance, internal affairs counts.
Yes.
My answer was the X-Files episode of The Simpsons. So I do feel maybe not the best prepped, but I'm supporting everyone in their decision. And that was my one and only answer.
Now my brain is like, did the government at any time interact with Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
You said that with so much confidence.
Like every episode, there are cops.
Yeah, but they're not government contractors. They're a bunch of weird kids that show up in a van.
Yeah, and then the police also show up and like just do the arrest. That is a government agency.
Okay, they're not employed by the government agency.
But also the government agents or the people that are connected to the government in this particular situation are not the ones investigating paranormal activity. They are simply showing up when some dude is found to be harassing teenagers, or vice versa. Teenagers are harassing some dude in a mask.
I will concede the point. I am pretty sure that I could get it back in the movies, but
well, see, that's what I was trying to figure out, because I was like, all right, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, but there's no government.
There's no government on Zombie Island.
Aren't they like? Isn't one of the characters literally the mayor?
Not on Zombie Island. Oh, you were talking about the live action movies. I was not.
There's like
no.
This is so in depth. This has gone so far in depth.
I don't think there's really any government figures, even loosely based in the live actions. Like the closest they get is like the Seth Green character who's over the museum in the second movie. That's it.
Seth Green is in the second.
Trying to make Scooby the man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stop doing this to me.
If we assume that the mystery team, what's their name?
Mystery Incorporated.
No, I figured out an easy way to make it work.
An anarchist commune.
Listen, you don't even have to go that far. In 1999 to 2000, Cartoon Network held a presidential election among the cartoons, which Scooby won.
Are you trying to use that to say Scooby is the president of the cartoon United States?
Yes.
Wow, I gotta stop. Wow, that's a deep cut.
No,
I mean, from there, you do also have to demonstrate that Scooby is in charge of Mystery Incorporated and like instructs them on which investigations to undertake.
I feel like Scooby is definitely listening to police scanners.
Yeah,
like for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Two things. First of all, he needs to know which direction to run away from. And secondly, he needs to know where the good donuts are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Central to his character.
I support this theory because there technically is a Cartoon Network city that was like a series of bumpers for a couple of years.
And they did, my brother was obsessed with Scooby-Doo. I am well aware of how that election went down.
It was like an Al Gore Bush-esque election.
Why would they do that for the children? Why did they? I have no memory of this, by the way. I have zero.
I'll do like a deep YouTube search to find some of the teasers for it so I can send them to you because this is deeply embedded in my brain.
So I guess
every branch of the Ministry of Magic deals with the paranormal.
Harry Potter.
I feel like when you are technically the paranormal,
they are the paranormal.
We've already covered this. If you're a paranormal agency doing internal affairs, that's investigating the paranormal.
Oh, I can say that Buffy does technically also fit the bill again because there's the episode with the girl that goes invisible, and then the government comes and takes her. Because they put her in a class with other invisible kids to train her to be
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Jesus Christ.
Watch me get Buffy into every single one of these questions somehow.
I don't know if Grimm counts, but this does have me wondering if the Grimm Adventures of Billy and Mandy count.
Were they ever investigated, though?
There's a couple of episodes with government, investigations. I watched that show.
Cartoon Network was fully fucking wild, wasn't it?
It was headquartered out of Atlanta, the city where I am born. I can affirm it's unhinged. It's unhinged.
And from the previously established crossover principle, we can therefore conclude that Dexter's Lab counts, Ed, and Eddie count.
Oh my God.
I think the Powerpuff Girls count.
We can just call it the Cartoon Network cinematic. We can just call it that for now.
We're unintentionally just being like, yes, these things were in fact, multiverses before we got there. Cinematic universes.
Oh yeah, Marvel, DC.
Probably, yeah.
Shield.
Both of them.
Shield, yeah. Shield. That counts. Sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Scooby-Doo's the president, and that counts as the government. And I'm not doing well with this information. I'm just sitting with it, and nothing is adding up.
I'm so defeated. Yeah, so I guess Scooby-Doo's the president.
Scooby's the president now.
I love that my route to the case for Scooby-Doo was the Mystery Inc. are an anarchist commune. And Michael was like, no, I have something easier than that to swallow.
Scooby-Doo
I have 1 degree to Scooby-Doo, all right?
1 degree Scooby-Doo to the government. Scooby-Doo is the fucking government.
The Cartoon Network cartoon elections for the cartoon United States is a more credible argument than these 5 20-somethings who live in a van together.
I don't think they live in the van together.
No, they have a sick house
anywhere else.
Yeah.
You have a really nice house in the second live action movie.
Yeah, it's fine. They were all doing great. Did they have another election is what I'm wondering, or is like Scooby-Doo
I don't think
for
so.
life?
I think it was just the one election in like 2000.
We have elected Scooby-Doo as like the dictator of the cartoon universe.
Well, I think when
that was for 21 years.
How do you think he got that many crossovers? You don't get that by being a benevolent leader. That's a dictatorship.
I mean, how benevolent a leader can he be if the Powerpuff Girls CW show got greenlit?
Oh, that's
balance.
That's a punishment.
Yeah.
But it was also a blessing because we did get to read that awful script.
God.
Oh, Scooby-Doo dictator. No, that's so stupid.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Do you want to do another question?
Sure.
My goodness. Wow.
Let's see. Fictional characters that have little in their name.
Stuart Little. I did it. I got one. What?
Chicken Little.
Oh, Chicken Little.
Yeah.
Little Slugger.
I don't know.
The mass hallucination in Paranoia Agent.
Great. Yes, Little John, Little Red Riding Hood, Chicken Little, and Stuart Little. These are the little. Lil Sebastian absolutely counts.
Yeah. Hell yeah, he does.
I'm absolutely never going to be over the fact that like Ben looking into the camera and being like, I don't get it, was supposed to be like reflecting the audience reaction, but I was on the opposite end of that. I was just like, oh my God, a tiny horse?
Yeah.
There's a tiny horse on this show?
Oh my gosh.
I'm really tempted to read this card just because one of the questions on it is just villains from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I don't think that's going to be fun for anyone but me.
You skip it.
Songs where the performer's name is mentioned in the lyrics.
I know Backstreet's Back by the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
I
Hey with the Monkeys.
Yeah.
Doesn't Usher say his name in just about every song that he does at some point?
Like, I'm thinking about the opening part of Yeah.
Well, yeah, because also Ludacris isn't mentioned in it.
Ludacris mentions himself in, I'm going to say 90% of the songs that he puts out, and I endorse it every time.
I think that it's just a genre staple of hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a tag.
Yeah, like the text of hip hop songs are mostly about the author, and they refer to themselves in that capacity.
Wow, how did we leave Jason Derulo out?
I do know from I can say from what's her name? I can't remember the name of the TikToker. Very successful TikToker, doesn't believe in Josh Groban. There is at least one Josh Groban song where he's just singing his own name.
Thank you, Josh Groban.
Oh, I believe it because he's one of the funniest. Like,
there is a Crazy Ex-Girlfriend song sung by Josh Groban, which canonically is sung by Josh Groban. Like Josh Groban is in Rebecca imagines Josh Groban singing, and he does at some point in there reference that put in this end song by Josh Groban.
I remember it's Carolyn Dunton that I'm thinking of, and she did a
not real.
In response to Josh Groban joining TikTok, she explained in more detail her Josh Groban is not real theory, showed a bunch of footage, and clarified that Josh Groban only ever plays the character Josh Groban, a famous person who exists in this universe. So like the overwhelming amount of evidence for the existence of Josh Groban is a fictional Josh Groban talking about being Josh Groban.
Wild. Has she ever explained like the phenomena of like Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet and him like starring in that on Broadway? Like people saw him in real life multiple times a week playing an accordion.
I mean, like, I feel like it's not hard for Broadway to hire an actor.
An actor to play fictional man Josh Groban playing fictional Pierre.
Oh no.
Josh Groban's reaction video to that conspiracy theory video was very funny too, because he just got increasingly concerned.
Well, he would have to. He has to keep up the ruse.
Mm-hmm. If he was like, good job.
I think he may have forgotten that he didn't exist.
Josh Groban is actually in a Truman Show scenario. We're all in the Josh Groban Truman Show scenario, and we don't know it.
Yeah.
Including Josh Groban.
That's fair.
Very worried about it.
The reverse Truman Show scenario where Josh Groban is the only one in on it.
And we're all being watched except for Josh Groban.
Like a very ant farm theory.
Who like arguably lives more interesting lives than we do because he has like money and records things and like stars in shows.
Okay, but like it's not just us, it's also every other famous person.
They're all part of this Josh Groban experiment.
Yeah, no, it's Josh Groban, and then the rest of the world is people who exist in an ant farm for Josh Groban's entertainment.
This has gone very far from just the theory of like Josh Groban's not real, Josh Groban's made up. But like we've gone into like we are all Sims and Josh Groban is the person controlling all of us.
I think we've just created a new conspiracy theory.
Finally,
we created a new school of philosophy. It's Groban Groban-politism.
I fucking hate you so much.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we can go with something non-controversial and light, like all of the Disney animal sidekicks.
Right, the question.
The question is just
that's the name of the singer.
Naming the Disney animal sidekicks.
Oh, I thought you were saying like all of the Disney animal sidekicks have songs where they introduce themselves.
No, but I would love that. Specifically for like Nico. Because I like a Disney animal sidekick that is just pure chaos.
I very much enjoy a Disney animal sidekick that gets to still act like an animal, that doesn't get like too personified, which is why I do like Miko, because he's just a little raccoon.
He's just a raccoon doing
raccoon things. He's not actually paying attention to anything that's going on, which that's fair.
Also the dog in Mulan, little brother.
Yes.
Little dog.
He's stupid.
Just dumb little dummy cutie.
Nothing behind his eyes, and he's just there to be happy.
Mm-hmm. And I chase that bone on a stick tied to his own back. It's fine.
He's doing great. He's trying his best.
Abu, like he's Disney sidekick friend.
Only friend.
Only friend.
Only friend.
Some of them just feel too anthropomorphized. Like you have Sebastian and
yeah, but they talk.
Yeah,
they are animal sidekicks, but like it's like Mushu. Like, that's an animal sidekick, but he talks. He's too sentient.
The cricket would be the animal sidekick
I do like
Cricky. Yeah.
And I do like the horse too.
I have also fully lost track of what the actual question is.
Disney animal sidekicks.
Ooh, a Iago, the best Disney animal sidekick.
Just name them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I also have a tendency I really like Flotsam and Jetsam just because I like when the villain also gets animal sidekicks.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking about the implications of, like with the Little Mermaid, the implications of like some of these animals can talk and are clearly sentient, and some of these animals can't. And I don't like it when I'm presented with that scenario within the same movie, because we are presented with that within The Little Mermaid, because Eric's dog does not talk.
So like,
yeah, and we don't get the distinction Disney makes where talking animals wear clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Disney at its core, what is it? Like, you got Goofy and Pluto. They're both dogs, but
no, Goofy's not a dog.
Well, Goofy is a goof. Like, he's his own thing.
Goofy is based on a cow. He's based on a specific type of bovine because he was originally matched up with, I can't remember the name of
Clarabelle. You're right. Oh yeah. I feel Goofy is like
as in my brain, Goofy is also a dog because Max is very clearly not a cow.
No, like I think they've like morphed him so like Goofy is part cow, but then there was an implication that like they're dogs, like in a Goofy movie, like there's a lot of implications that they're dogs.
Because they're best friends with Pete, and Pete is some kind of cat-dog situation.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I have never thought about the ambiguity of some of Disney's anthropomorphic characters until this very moment.
Oh, I've gone on so many.
Having a terrible time with it.
It's really just Goofy. Everyone else looks like they're animal.
Correct.
We are past 9 p.m. now, so I just want to say again, if you'd like to join us on Discord, the link's in chat now. You can join if you're over 18, and you can become a comrade if you have at least 1,000 followers. And if you want to help TOCA keep growing and offer more services and supports, back us on Patreon. That link is also now in chat. Do you want to do one more, or do you want to just call it here?
Let me see if I've got a good one coming up, because we're going to do a... Let's see.
Thank you. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that we've given knowledge that no one wanted.
Between this and Scooby-Doo, it's just...
my president, Scooby-Doo.
I mean, that's the main thing TOCA does, right? Like, spam likes don't hurt your account.
Scooby's still president. You're welcome.
You don't want to hear.
Let's see. We can talk about movies that take place during Halloween. Or, oh, I like this one because it goes back to the morbid curiosity stuff. Any titles, films, or shows where death is a character?
Supernatural. Thank you.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
What's that?
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Animaniacs too. They play chess with death.
Yes. Sandman.
Yeah.
The Seventh Seal.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted Bogus Journey.
The Going Postal TV movie.
Oh, yeah. I finally watched that not too long ago. I had a good time.
Yeah, it's a good movie. They did a good job.
Thanks, Terry Pratchett.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Death shows up a couple of times.
Yeah, The Simpsons. I mean, that works for pretty much all these questions.
Mm-hmm. Family Guy. There's that episode where Peter gets the death's powers and everybody stops dying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I want
South Park.
I assume South Park because it's the same as The Simpsons, where it's like it's been on the air long enough. They've done this trope, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Harry Potter, technically, because the Tale of Beetle and Bard is a thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but like, does death appear as a character, or is death referred to as a character that exists in a fiction in that setting?
Death exists as a character that exists within a fiction in the Tale of the Three Brothers.
Yeah.
Therefore, death is not a character in Harry Potter.
Okay, fine.
I would argue that it's not. As a Harry Potter scholar, unfortunately, it's just stuck in my fucking head forever. Unfortunately, I know things about a thing that I now hate, and it's just so much of my brain is taken up by it, and I wish that I could forget it so I could learn new things, but I don't think I've learned a new thing in like 5 years at this point.
I feel that.
You're so dead like me.
So I have recently been teaching myself symbolic logic in my free time.
Why?
Because he hates himself. That's why.
I guess.
I just like it would be a lot of fun sometime to take some of the claims we make in this and just write the logical proof.
Nothing about that is fun. I told you, I am traumatized by my logic class in college.
I am taking a different logic class.
Are you sure about that? Does the professor sometimes just like to recite the Bandersnatch poem for no discernible reason other than to prove that he can?
I'm only 11 episodes into the 15-episode YouTube series, but so far, no.
Watch out for that.
It's good, at least.
Yeah.
Positive.
Wait, the Bandersnatch poem, not Jabberwocky.
I don't remember. I think it was the Jabberwock.
Because the Bandersnatch poem is like 30 pages long.
Yeah, I'm aware. So this professor, the only reason I didn't drop the class is because that professor had like a fascination with Alice in Wonderland and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and everything connected to it, which like, hi, where's my tattoo? Anyway, I have an entire shelf that's just Alice in Wonderland copies in different editions. So like, yeah, he had memorized large swaths of all of those texts.
But this was a logic class.
Yes.
Did you learn logic?
No. I tried.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds like you used your money well.
That seems like a good note to close out on.
Out of having to take an actual math class.
Fair.
That seems like a good note to close out on. I do want to go over one more thing that I completely forgot about, which is that I also made a chat shortcut for Bobby's links. So I've just dropped that in chat. You can find Bobby at TikTok at The Afternoon Special and theafternoonspecial.card.co for the rest of her links. Thank you all for coming.
You should listen to Hi, I'm Bobby, which is an excellent podcast, and it is on all of the things, but I listen to it on Spotify.
Stop it. Stop it. Gonna make
Thanks everybody for coming tonight. It was a lot of fun. Good night.
Good night.